What's going on, my wonderful retro squad? This is your bar Retro Quin, and today we got a review and on feet of the Air Jordan 9 Cool Grays. Y'all see we got these beauties right here in hand, man. You know, let y'all get a quick little glimpse on, see what they talking about, man. Definitely a 10 out of 10 in my humble opinion, man. Shout out to that boy Mike Rich. But we're gonna put these over to the side, and I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all the box real quick. We ain't gonna spend a lot of time on the box because y'all know we just got a regular box that ain't nothing too crazy, other than it being that all over cool gray look. But y'all can see we got the Air Jordan written in white, and then we got a red Jumpman right here in the back of it. So that is a pretty cool touch, and it ain't really nothing else going on with it, like I said, other than the all over gray. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the details of the sneaker and everything. The official name of the sneaker is the Air Jordan 9 Retro. The official colorway is medium gray, cool gray, and white. Got these in a size 11.5. Color code and style number is HV4794-011. And it's coming in at the hefty price of $210. Y'all know that's the new norm now, but we're going to get rid of that box, and we're going to show y'all the sneaker real quick, man. Yes, sir. I already got that thing bust down, man. The on feet is done, so y'all will be seeing that. But let y'all get a quick little glimpse of it. Check it out, round view action. Get a chance to look at the, the laces, tongue, inside, outside, all of that good stuff, man. And before we even get into the review, I think this is only the third time that these have released. And each time, in my opinion, because I went back and looked at the 2002 version, which was the original release, and then I looked at the release that was back in 2012, and now we got the 2025 release. And in my opinion, all three of these releases are totally different. I think the 2002 version and the 2012 version, they both came with a leather tongue. And this time for the 2025 version, Jordan Brand came with the mesh tongue. And me personally, I like the mesh tongue better because it just feels, a little bit more comfortable when you rocking them on feet and stuff. And to me, it makes the fit a little bit better too, because y'all know the Air Jordan 9s, they have like the, the booty or the sock liner that's attached to the inside of the sneaker. So it's already a little bit of a more, snug fit, in which when you wear them over time, they will loosen up some, but initially when you put them on, they do fit a little bit snug. And just having this mesh tongue, I feel like that kind of helps with that comfort level overall. But I did want to go ahead and touch on that real quick, and we'll go ahead and start with the bottom. Y'all see we got the cool gray translucent bottom, and like I told y'all before, I don't remember exactly what these words and stuff mean, but let me see. Yeah, y'all, they're a little bit dirty from the on feet, but y'all can see like it's like different words that Jordan had them ingrained into the bottom of the sneaker. But I want to say it's like German, French, Swahili, and I can't remember the other two, but they all stand for something different. And if y'all do know about that and y'all want to comment it down below in the comment section to let me know, feel free to do so. But next time a pair of Jordan 9s come out, if I remember, I'll try to look it up so I can have that information for y'all. But we do have that nice touch, and then you can see like kind of like the global print up here on the top corner, and then you can see 1994 right there engraved in the bottom as well. And then we got some more, you know, like just stuff written in the bottom. Right here on the bottom of the sneaker, you can see the Air Jordan logo, all white. And that's really it for the bottom. Going straight into the upper. Now, the thing that I personally didn't like about these that I wish Jordan Brand would have done differently, but right here on the midsole, it's like a foam material, but to me it look a little bit cheap because they kind of have like that glossy finish to it, and which it ain't nothing that's just a deal breaker or nothing like that. But I was wondering if Jordan Brands take that same mesh. Let me see if I have a pair. Okay, so I got my my Columbia 11s, which y'all can't see it because of the lighting and stuff. But if you look at the bottom of the 11s, they have that same like foam like material, but it don't have that glossy finish. And I was wondering like if Jordan Brand took that same material and ran on the bottom of these nines, I wonder what would that look like. And I feel like it's like that on the original nines, but don't quote me on that. But I was just wondering like how would that look if he took that same foam from the retro 11s and incorporate that on the nines. But you know, that's kind of like my only knock on these shoes if I had anything, you know, just kind of nitpicking. But that's it for the midsole, all white, you know, going all the way across the bottom of the sneaker. And then right here in the back, you can see the white Jumpman with the you know, with the translucent gray just kind of peeking up. And then moving a little bit further into the upper, we do have that, you know, that classic patent leather kind of going all the way around the sneaker, you know, surrounding the toe box area here. Then moving back around on the other side of the sneaker as well, in which, you know, that's kind of one of the iconic things with the Jordan 9s and the Jordan 11s. They have that patent leather that makes the sneaker stand out a lot more. But we do have that patent leather going all the way around. And you can see the 2-3 stitched in on the back of the 9s. I thought that was a pretty cool touch. And then right here, my lighting is kind of blowing out the logo right here. But if I have a picture, I'll drop it so that y'all can see it on the screen somewhere. But this is like a world logo or something, in which kind of the story behind that is, you know, I think around the time when the Jordan 9s released, Jordan had, you know, he of course he was already Jordan, but it was one of those things where he wanted to kind of signify, you know, just becoming more of like a global brand and a global household name and stuff, and just kind of getting bigger and bigger. And he was really, you know, kind of, I don't want to say larger than basketball, because, you know, a lot of people knew him mainly for basketball, but his brand had started, you know, growing so big that it just became a worldwide thing. So that's kind of some of the inspiration behind giving us that world logo right here on the back of the sneaker. And then you can see we do have a pull tab here, and y'all do be careful. I think I said this on my Olive 9 review, but I remember back in the day, which I don't know if the pull tab is a lot more sturdy now, but back in the day with these sneakers being so hard to put on because of the booty sock liner, a lot of people was actually ripping their pull tab because they was having to pull so tight to get their foot into the sneaker. And I've even seen where some people would actually cut this off and, like, you know, just kind of take their little stitching out so it's not noticeable. But some people would actually just cut that off because it ended up ripping anyway. And I'm hoping that that's something that Jordan Brand fixed, in which when I done the on feet, it was pretty hard to get the sneakers on, but I didn't really feel like the pull tab on it was going to, you know, rip off or anything. So maybe they did correct that issue. I don't know, in which I won't be wearing these enough to, you know, even rip the pull tag off. I don't know. But, you know, that's it for the, you know, the patent leather going across the shoe. And then getting further up into the upper, it switches over to like a leather, in which we still have that same gray, but it's a little bit of a lighter gray, you know, just going all the way around the sneaker as well. And then you can see that he has a few pods that's stitched in as well. So that's a nice little touch that makes it stand out also. And then, you know, like I told y'all earlier, one of my favorite things is him switching from the leather tongue over to the mesh tongue. So that's a pretty cool touch. Mesh tongue going all the way up. We do have the rope laces in. I think, yeah, so it seemed like he did the same laces that he did on the Olive 9s, but they do feel a little bit more thicker and not as thick as the Retro 11 laces, but they do seem like they're a little bit thicker than previous 9s that came out, you know, a few years back. But mesh tongue, and then going right up to the top of the tongue, you can see that Air Jordan that's stitched in, kind of like a tag, so to speak, Air Jordan tag that's stitched in on the top of the sneaker. And I think that's really it on the sneaker. We got, you know, of course, the all gray sock liner, gray insole. We love those dark colors. with the white Jumpman right there on the bottom that you can see right there. But that's really it for the sneaker in general. And you know, another thing with these two that kind of make them, you know, a little bit iconic, or you know, one of those shoes that people got to have is when Jordan, I think, came out of retirement and went to the Wizards. This was one of the few non-OG colorways that he was actually spotted in which he played in these. I don't know how many games, or you know, how many seasons or whatever he played in these, but he did play in these when he was on the Wizards. And if I have a picture, I will drop it up here somewhere so that y'all can see it. And this was also one of those retros that he played baseball in when he retired and had his baseball stint as well. So that's kind of where some of the iconic, you know, things come from when it comes to the Air Jordan 9s and stuff. But that's really gonna do it for the review. Like I said earlier, y'all let me know if y'all got a chance to get y'all hands on them. Now as far as like just the hype around them and stuff, I did hear where a lot of people was going after them, but I don't know. Like I didn't really feel like the past few releases. I could tell that they was like, you know, like up there. You could feel the tension, you know, the craziness, the madness, and all of that. And I ain't saying the same thing didn't happen for these, but to me, it just didn't feel like the temperature was exactly the same as it was with the last few releases that we had. Metallic Fives. What else was it? Dang man, I can't even remember. I know. Oh, flu game. That's it. Flu game 12, Metallic Fives. It was a couple of other sneakers. The 11s that dropped Christmas time last year. Those were pretty crazy too. And like I said, I ain't gonna say that it wasn't crazy for these, but to me the temperature just didn't feel quite the same. But I do know that this is a very nostalgic shoe. I'm glad that I got a chance to get this one in my collection. And I probably at first I thought about getting rid of it, but once I done the on feed, you know, kind of got a chance to spend a couple of days with it, you know, looking at it in my room and stuff like that, I think I am gonna go ahead and keep these. But y'all do let me know down below in the comment section if you got a chance to get your hands on them. Let me know if you passed on them, because like I tell y'all in all of these past videos that I've been doing, this the 40th year anniversary, so Jordan Brand got a lot of sneakers coming out this year. And I could easily see this being one that gets passed on because it's so much other stuff coming out. But I did want to go ahead and get these up in my collection. And like I said too, that's gonna do it for the video. Y'all make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Stay positive and stay smiling. And without further ado, this is your boy Retro Quin. I'm out.